There has been a lot of talk and apprehension among Hindus as to the future of India, whether it will become Islamic or Christian, because the conversion is going on at a hectic pace. So it will be appropriate to discuss how it is going on now, the modus operandi, what's its future, and whether the government will bring in any regulation. Well, let us see. Ever since, the emergence of Christianity 2000 years back and Islam, a few centuries later, they have been trying to bring in people who follow other faiths into Christianity and Islam respectively. You see, Christianity, when it became the official religion of Roman Empire, it persecuted, it forced all other faiths of the Roman Empire to become Christians, and they had no other way. So they all became Christians or Catholic, and the mythical religions, no trace of it could be found later. And as it grew, it dominated Northern Africa towards the Middle East. It went wherever it could and spread the religion. Because we should understand, Christianity believes that its founder Jesus exhorts the disciples to go to the world and preach this gospel and bring everybody into Christianity. Same thing with Islam too. The Allah, Islamic God, commands them to bring everybody here. And both the gods have asked their followers to massacre infidels. They don't want infidels. They don't want anybody to go away from them. They are very selfish, fiendish, dictator gods. They want every human being to be into the religion. So, as soon as Islam came to be established and conquered the most of Africa, it went into conquering Middle East, Northern Africa, even up to Spain. And later on, we will see that it is coming down to India also. And Christianity, they had hectic campaigns of conversion. Even St. Thomas came to India, Kerala, in about 50 AD and converted people in Kerala, and also he went to Chennai and converted a number of Hindus or whatever religion they followed up to Mylapore. And later on this continued. Islam came to India maybe in the Malabar cause as the Arab trades flourished with the Kerala, spices trade, and a number of Keralites were converted into Islam. But the process of conversion began momentum with the coming of Muhammad ibn al-Qasim, who conquered Sindh and forced the people there to become Muslim. And later on came Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad of Ghori, and these two conquerors, they annexed a lot of the land and made a lot of people at the threat of the sword Islamic. They even forced Hindus to pay taxes. Ghazni was even trying to see that the Hindus, if they wanted to live as Hindus, they could live as slaves by wearing a badge to identify them. That sort of torture, social torture, prevailed even at that time. And later on, Islamic kingdoms got established in Delhi, the Delhi Sultanates, and Mughal emperors. Both these emperors, Delhi Sultans and Mughal emperors, persecuted Hindus. They killed them, except perhaps Akbar, who was more secular. So no Hindu knew whether they would be alive the next day. There were some emperors who killed a lakh of Hindus every year, and their skulls were formed into large hills. Women were raped. They were under the threat, either you convert to Islam or die or leave everything and go. So this continued, throughout the Mughal times, and a lot of people became, Islamic or Muslims. And we find the same operation happening in Kashmir as late as 1991, when the local Muslims, who are majority of the state are Muslims, they, declared through microphones that Hindus have, or the Kashmiri Pandits, had three options. Either leave everything and flee, leaving their house, their property, everything, or become become Muslims, or die. So many of them fled, many of them got killed, many of them converted. This process, this process of forcibly converting people into Islam continues to this day. We find the same thing happening in Pakistan and Bangladesh. When they became independent, in Bangladesh and Pakistan, 33% and 23% were minorities, mainly Hindus and Christians. They persecuted them, they beat them, their girls were raped, and they were sent forcefully outside or converted. So conversion and persecution and banishing happened so much that today their population is decimated. Very few percentage remain there. So such sort of force happened in these Islamic countries. In the theocracies, Islamic theocracies, no minority can exist, only Muslims. So anyway, what we mean is Islam has converted so much of Hindus that today Islam commands about 18% of the population of India. Unofficial reports. Maybe the official reports a little less. It can be more. So, 18% is a considerable percentage. And many Hindus, let's say, are apprehensive that later on Islam may gain more percentage and thereby declaring India an Islamic republic, which may not be, possible in the immediate future. And then what did Christianity do? Christianity, after the St. Thomas arrival, began conversion in right earnest with the coming of the Portuguese. Because Christian religion, especially Catholicism, established inquisition courts to kill or murder or persecute infidels. And there were inquisition courts in Goa. So Hindus were persecuted. They were put into, very, very hard equipment where their limbs will be torn apart, or they were thrown into the dens of hungry lions, or they were burned in burning oil. So many of them got converted into Hindus because, either you convert it or you die. When Francis Xavier came, Francis Xavier, you must be knowing, a very famous Jesuit priest. He was a part of the Inquisition, part of the Catholic Church's persecution of local Hindus, and he preached, let us say, his Christianity along the coastline, and lakhs of Hindus got converted. Today we find so many Latin Catholics along the shores of Kerala, Karnataka and Goa. Most of them were converted by the Saint Xavier, Francis Xavier, along when he came to India after the Portuguese arrival. But when the Britishers came, in between Dutch came, French came, all of them tried to convert as many as they can in Pondicherry, in wherever they got a foothold. But when British came to India, they adopted initially a policy of, let's say, non-interference so that they did not have the, resistance from the locals. But in 1813, the British company or the East India Company gave permission for, missions to start. Even the whole entire British machinery, ruling machinery, had the feeling that they were divinely anointed to evangelize India and make it Christian, and the efforts became much more pronounced. We find, the modus operandi of all these sort of people were very simple. Tons of money were pumped in. They would start a local church, buy a land, start a church, start a school, a hospital, and locals were invited or given treatment there. They were educated there. They were preached or given sermons about Christianity. But there was a distinction. Everybody who went through schools underwent the Christian Catholic catechism. They were properly initiated into the Christian religion, into its morals, into its festivals, and they were also consciously or unconsciously taught that Hinduism is barbaric, primitive, their gods were funny, like snakes, like monkeys, elephants, ox, cow, whereas Christianity had living God, like Jesus in flesh and blood. And they also told them that for their, lowly status, because most of these missionaries, they concentrate on the outcasts of Hindus, those who are of lower caste, who suffer, the social, let's say, outcastism, the poverty. And these missionaries could easily tell them, your poverty is due to the Hindu religion. What you suffer socially is due to the caste system which exists there. But come here, you have everything, you are accepted as equal. And millions of them went to Christianity. They did not, simply join, they were given money. I have seen that after my study, seen that a family of 5 people, when they converted, they got around 5,000 to 10,000 rupees recently. They were given sacks of rice. And once they were, let's say, solidly into Christianity, the authorities asked them to bring their relatives, their friends, so the entire area, in a course of a few years, become Christians. Once they become Christians, they start repaying. About 10% of their entire income is given to the church to bring more people, to evangelize others, for missionary activities. There is a mission Sunday even now, because I was born a Catholic, a Christian. I know this process very well. Every single church or parish has a mission Sunday where the Christians have to contribute for the missionary work. And we have to give, from our birth to death, money to the church. Apart from that, contributions are being taken every Sunday, on every special day. So these money, when collected from millions of churches, they become huge. And the entire process of money is used for conversion process. Today, the Home Ministry of India has documented that lakhs of crores of rupees come from the US, from Italy, from France, from Canada, from other European countries like Netherlands, into Indian NGOs. These NGOs are mostly involved in, presumably charitable works, but they are not doing much of charity. Nowadays, they do not even build school or hospital. They buy a plot, they build a church, and they invite people and they preach to them. They teach them about Christianity. Let's say, the nobleness of the faith, and then degrade Hinduism, and then say everything bad about their faith. And the Hindus, they are also given some enticements. These, let's say, pastors who are engaged in missionary work are given good salary. Even Hindus who can, talk to other Hindus in a nice language, good speakers, they are given good salary. So there is a lot of money coming in, and the conversion process goes on. With the effect that there have been so many, let's say, hard missionaries coming to India. After Francis Xavier, we have William Carey, we have even Mother Teresa, later on, another guy, Gary Gaines from Australia. There are so many coming to India and converting. With the effect, at the moment, 3 of the northeastern states, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, are Christian majority states. And even, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur has got more than 30-40% population respectively, Christians. You have in Kerala, about 19% of the Kerala population are Christians. Goa, 25%. Pondicherry, 11% are Christians. In Tamil Nadu, you have got about 7%. And then you see, Andhra Pradesh is fast becoming Christian. Its chief minister, Y.S.R. Reddy, is reportedly a Christian. And then, according to the 2011 census, there were only 2.5% of Andhrites Christian. But now the entire picture is changed. Now, unofficial reports say that there are at least 2.5 crores of Christians in Andhra. So at this rate, which is not, let's say, coming into any census or any official records. So unofficially, the Christian population in India maybe more than 4.5 crores. And this is rapidly increasing. The entire Vatican is pumping money. These, missionary organizations of the United States, Canada, and other European countries, they're pumping in money. And with the use of this money and the conversion mafia, they forcibly or through enticement or through, let's say, brainwashing, people are converted, conversion goes on. As per today's estimate, 8 lakhs of Hindus are getting converted unofficially, getting converted into Christianity and Islam. If this goes on unchecked, in the near future, India will become a predominantly Christian and Islamic nation. And Hindus may lose majority, which is a probability. Well, but then nothing is happening even today among Hindus to prevent Hinduism, even though there is a lot of noise in the Indian media of the Hindu resistance. That is because most of the Indian intellectuals and Indian media is against Hinduism. But the facts are Hindu conversion of Hindus goes on unchecked. I do not understand what is so much better of these two religions. Because Christianity, which I have studied so well in the seminary, and I have gone in through the theology and philosophy of the religion, I have found that Jesus Christ is a fashion god, is a made-up god, like the gods of Osiris, Horus, Mithra, Dionysus, which I have detailed in my video, why I am not a Christian or why I do not believe in Christianity. So Jesus is simply a mythical figure. I do not know what they mean by God in flesh and blood. This is simply mythical. And even, the God of Islam is a God which is, let's say, brought about by Muhammad. Because earlier, this Allah was one of the deities of Arabian tribes, and with the arrival of Muhammad, he made him into universal God. But then, now they are saying they are living gods in flesh and blood. And they have better, let's say, philosophy, better morals, everything, which is not true. No religion can claim better than another religion. Whereas Hinduism, it is the oldest, it does not have any strict dogma, it is democratic, it gives freedom to people, even an atheist can be Hindu. But they don't go to convert others because the whole Hindu gods are good. They ask their people to love others, and the eternal Brahma, the absolute reality or the ultimate God of Hindus, do not allow them to kill their infidels or to harm them. They want everybody to love each other, the entire human's nature. So what is supreme or what is better? In what way is Christianity or Islam better than Hinduism? Why do they label Hindus barbaric, backward? There's no meaning. And I would like to ask this, missionaries, also the Pope and the evangelists who are working for that. The Christians of the developed, educated nations have already, rejected Christ and going away from the church. They rejected Bible. They do not believe in it. Most of the countries like Canada or even France, Germany, Netherlands, UK, Scandinavian countries, most of Western Europe are now, majority people are irreligious or atheists. Australia, New Zealand. Now they are the countries which brought Christianity to India. And now they are no more Christians. But still, in India, people are still clinging on to Christianity madly. Why does not the Pope go after the lost souls as Christ has admonished his disciples? You go after the lost sheep. Why do you come to India? Where, convert people who are living at peace with their religion. It looks to be nonsense. It looks to be unwanted. And the publicity these missionaries give to the world media as Hinduism is poor or the resistance and the violence they face, I think these are all not incorrect. They want to see that more conversion is taking place. And let us hope that the government of India and the people of India and Hindus themselves will unite, amalgamate together so as to resist unnecessary conversion. If anybody wants to go willfully after studying a religion, let them. But no conversion by force or by even coercion is not desirable. And let us hope every faith in the world live with respect, respecting others, respecting oneself. Thank you.